Okay, in question A, we're going to draw an area model, and we're going to do it with renaming, which means we are going to list both factors by place value. We're going to start off with the top one, which is 24, and then the bottom one, we're going to do 20 and 1, so we're splitting them up by place value. Now over on the standard algorithm, we'd start off with 1 times 4. And it's the same thing on the area model. We got 1 times 4, and that would give us 4. Our second step would be 1 times 20. It's not 1 times 2 because it's 1 times 20. Same thing on the area model. 1 times 20 is 20. Now we've done both of them. Now on the standard algorithm, now we have 20 times 4, and that's going to give us 80. And 20 times 4 here gives us 80. Now the last one we have is 20 times 20. And we know we have 2 placeholders, and 2 times 2 is 4. Over here, same thing. 2 placeholders, 2 times 2 is 4. When we add them up, we end up with 84 here, 420 here. We have to add both products together, and we'll end up with 504. Over here, if we double check ourselves, we do 4. 8 and 2 is 10, carry 1, and we have 504. Okay, in question 2, we're going to be using the standard algorithm. And we're starting with B because we've already done A. On the standard algorithm, 496 times 53. Now we're using the renaming, so we're going to list each one of them. So this one would be 3 times 6, which would be 18. Next one would be 3 times 90, which we know we have a placeholder. 3 times 9 is 27. Now we have 3 times 400, which we have 2 placeholders, and 3 times 4 is 12. Now we're done with the 3, so we're moving to the 50. So we have 50 times 6, which, put the placeholder in there, 5 times 6 is 30. And we have 50 times 90. We have 2 placeholders, so we're going to put 2 placeholders. 9 times 5 is 45. And our last one is 50 times 400. And you can see we have 3 placeholders, and 5 times 4 is 45. Excuse me, 5 times 4 is 20. I'm sorry, looking at the wrong digits. Now we have to add them up. There's 8, 8. There's 4, and 3 is 7. 5 is 12. 6. So we have 26,288. Now under C, I'm going to use a different standard algorithm. I'm going to use this. I'll just keep doing the same standard algorithm right now. 758 times 46. 8 times 6. I'm not going to spell it out like here this time. 8 times 6 is 48. 6 times 50 is going to give us 300. 6 times 7 gives us 42 and 2 placeholders. So 4,200. Because if you look at this, we did 6 times 8, 6 times 50, and 6 times 700. Now we're doing 40 times 8, which we can see we have 1 placeholder. 8 and 8 is 16, so it'll be 32. We have 40 times 5, 50 actually. So we have 2 placeholders and 20. And our last one is going to be 40 times 700, which gives us 3 placeholders. And 7 times 4 is 28. When you add them up, we end up with 8, 6, 3 and 2 is 5, and 3 is 8. 8 and 2 is 10, and 4 is 14. Carry 1, and we get 3. So the correct answer would be 34,868. Sorry about that, ran out of screen there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this last problem up in here so I have room. Now I have 529, and we're multiplying that by 48. So we're going to start off with 8 times 9, which is 72. And we're going 8 times 20, which we have a placeholder, and 8 times 2 is 16. Now we're doing 8 times 500, which we have 2 placeholders, and 8 times 5 is 40. Now we're moving to 40 times 9. We have 1 placeholder, 9 times 4 is 36. Now we have 40 times 20, which we have 2 placeholders, and 4 times 2 is 8. And our last one is 40 times 500. We have 3 placeholders, and 5 times 4 is 20. We add it up, we end up with 2, 13, and 6 is 19. Carry 1. We have 1 and 1 is 2, 3 is 5, and 8 is 13. Carry 1, we have a 5 and a 2. So the correct answer here would have been 25,392. Question 4, Jason buys a car and pays by installments. Each installment is $567 per month. After 48 months, Jason owes $1,250. What was the total price of the car? So, first off, I'm going to draw a tape diagram so I can understand this. And first thing they're looking for is the total price of the car, which this would be total price. Now they're telling me that after installments, they still owe $1,250. Now here, I know they have installments of $567 per month, and that is going on for 48 months. So I can tell right here, in order to solve what this is going to be 567 times 48. And then I'm going to have to add $1,250 on there in order to solve for total price. So let's go ahead and do an as standard algorithm. 567 times 48. 8 times 7 is 56. Carry 5. 8 times 6 is 48, and 5 is 53. 8 times 5 is 40, and 5 is 45. We're going to put our placeholder, so all we have to do is worry about the 4. 4 times 7 is 28. Carry our 2. 4 times 6 is 24, and 2 is 26. Carry our 2. 4 times 5 is 20, and 2 would be 22. We add both these together, we end up with 6, 11, carry 1, that's 12, carry 1 is 7, 27,000. So right here now we have 27,216 plus 1,250. So 27,216 plus 1,250. We end up with 66,480. So the total price of the car would be $28,466.